it's time for bold predictions, 3 apiece. I'm going to go first, and then Joel's going to go with his Atlanta one because I want to know what's going on there. So I'm just going to give my first one, and it is Joe Burrow wins MVP. Right now his odds are at plus 900. Now some people are, it's not bold. He's a top 3-4 quarterback, whatever. Suck my dick. Dude is always injured. He's never been there yet. He's like maybe one time in his career he's been even in the discussion, and they still got eliminated in the AFC Championship against Mahomes. Pain in the ass. But I like them over there. Like, I don't look at rosters the same way everyone else does. I think, obviously, the quarterback elevates the roster to the next level. So I think they have a top 5 roster, maybe top 6. T. Higgins still there. Jamar Chase, obviously, they love that kid. Yossi Vosh at wide receiver as well. Mike Gesicki is there at their tight end now. That's a position they always talk about wanting to use more. And when Burrow's there, they do use it more, whether it's Irv Smith or Tanner Hudson or all these weird guys. And I think Gesicki's better than any of those guys. So I think he's actually going to have a nice little season with them. Joe Burrow wins the division, wins MVP. Thoughts?
Lucas doesn't look at rosters like other people look at rosters.
Okay, that's not how I meant it. An absolute flat. Okay, that's it. That's what he took from that.
Okay. I mean, I was going to let Eli go, but
No, yeah, so I'm with you there, Lucas. I was thinking he could make an MVP run. New haircut, right? We saw what happened with Vladdy on the Blue Jays. As soon as he cuts his hair, he goes nuclear. Just a completely swap of a season. And we know Joe Burrow likes to do this. Gets injured one season, comes back the next season, goes nuts. And this is that season. He was injured all last season pretty much, so it's looking good.
Also, when the games he did play last season, not after the first 3, after he got over that calf injury, his stats literally led the NFL in basically everything.
Yeah, I do think that if he can stay healthy the whole year, that there's no reason why he couldn't win MVP. But that's just the question.
The only thing standing in the way, obviously, is other people having monster seasons, Stroud, Mahomes, whoever.
Yeah, but I feel like coming off an injury, people want Joe Burrow to win MVP. It's like,
yeah, there's voter fatigue too. Probably, Mahomes is in there all the time. McCaffrey, whatever.
Comes back and people remember how good Joe Burrow is. It's like, oh my god, this guy's gonna be the best.
Yeah, people love a new story. Okay, Joel, give us a bold prediction.
My first bold prediction is Justin Jefferson, Offensive Player of the Year, plus 1,300. Think about it like this, okay? DeAndre Hopkins, all those years, he had all those different quarterbacks, and he was still 1,000 yards every year. He was epic every year. I think Justin Jefferson might be better. So who says he can't just go out there and do it with any quarterback? That's plus 1,300. So I'd say that's pretty bold. My next is the one that has to do with the Falcons, and that's that I think the Buccaneers will win the AFC South.
Wow.
What? Man.
They're clicking, man. They're clicking. They're going for it. I think they know each other. They're more familiar than this new team with their new Kirk Cousins, It's like things don't just work right away, Take some time to get into the groove of things.
Well, so Baker worked right away with the Bucs literally last year, isn't it?
Baker's special, buddy.
Rain would have loved this, man.
Like Rain.
Right into that one.
Like a board Raineristic.
And then my third bold prediction, Caleb Williams to throw 4,000 yards plus 350.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that.
My friend Lucas here told me that 10 quarterbacks did it last year, so I believe Caleb Williams can do it this year. Got some good talent around him.
I don't think it's that bold, though.
Plus 350, same as Lucas's MVP prediction, I believe.
No, plus 900, bud.
Ah, shit.
Plus 900.
He has a lot of hype around him.
Triple.
Shit ton of hype.
Literally triple.
Okay, well, when I looked at the list, he was pretty far down.
Okay. Okay, the list, huh?
No, I like that, though. I definitely like him to throw for 4,000. I'd say it's more likely than not, just because I think he's going to be probably the best quarterback in that conference.
That throw to
very soon.
Roma Dunza,
Cole Kmet, love what I'm seeing from him in the preseason. I don't think they're going to run too much. I'm still not so sure about that O-line.
Stay intact. That'd be pretty cool. He doesn't break his foot like he does every year.
I don't hate the Bucs shout out just because they do have a lot of talent on that team. I love Mike Evans. I am worried about his health just because he's an older receiver. I had him in fantasy last year. I didn't understand all the hate from him. He's a great receiver. He's been literally historically great his whole career. He's got a record of his own. I forget what it is, but he does have one. He's been extremely productive his entire career. Godwin's
I
still
think
there.
it's consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Maybe.
I think that's what it is as well. It's pretty nuts. Like his production is always off the hook. And the Jefferson thing I love too. People forget how good he is. Like, bro, this guy barely played last year. He played 10 games and was nuts. And so him winning Offensive Player of the Year, yeah, and he already proved last year he can do it with any quarterback. He had Dobbs and Nick Mullins. Yeah, it sucks that J.J. McCarthy's out, but Sam Darnold can throw the ball somewhere and Justin Jefferson can go get it. Like he's been talk about a guy who's been historically great to enter the year or to enter his career. Unreal. So those are other than the Caleb Williams one, bold enough. But I like those.
Jefferson, I'm not really buying that. People say, like I guess you, Lucas, just said, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what quarterback Jefferson has thrown to him. But I think it does. It definitely does matter, and it factors into my decision when I'm thinking of guys like Jamar Chase, and you have Joe Burrow throwing him these dimes compared to Sam Darnold throwing Jefferson these shitty ass balls where he has to reach across his body and get cranked for, right? So I think I would rather take a guy like Jamar Chase to win the Offensive Player of the Year. You know what I mean?
I'm saying he has a better chance of winning it because he has a shitty quarterback, Because, like, obviously you'd rather have Joe Burrow throwing him the ball, but at the same time, it's
that's
like,
not a better chance, though.
I also
but it's
do
just
think
like more of a story.
Ever so slightly, I also just think Jefferson is a better receiver than Jamar. So I think that's a huge factor.
No, I think they're right together, man.
They're very close. I'd take either one, but I think Jefferson is better. Well, I think he's the best receiver in the league, and I don't think Jamar's even number 2 at this point.
I think Tyreek is 1. Jamar 2.
I know you.
CD 3, and then 4 Jefferson. It's very close, but
TD is now better than Jefferson.
I think so. I think so.
Such a prisoner of the moment, man.
I'm a prisoner of genius. That's what I am. A prisoner.
Okay.
of.
CD's pretty good. I don't think he's better than Jamar
or Jefferson or okay.
No,
whatever.
CD's just getting started too, man.
All right, Mr. Genius, give us your bold predictions.
Okay, you guys are gonna love this one. Guarantee you that. Brock Bowers is going to have a Sam Laporta type rookie season. Boom. How about that?
I hate it. So Laporta led
That's
all
a
tight
bold
ends.
prediction, buddy. Jeez.
Yeah,
I had some balls doing that. You guys were just like in your little box there.
That's a bit too bold.
Yeah.
Well, I only give you one.
We got Gardner Minshew at the helm, all right, on the Raiders. Hey, Minshew's a journeyman. He can throw the ball. He's been playing for a minute now. He knows what he's doing. And I think
So
Brock
funny.
Bowers is just going to fucking take off, man. I really believe it. I like what I saw out of Georgia from him. He's just a dynamic tight end that people are sleeping on, honestly. He's going to kill it.
You know why this is so funny, Joel? We just talked about the quarterback for Jefferson compared to the quarterback for Chase. And now he's talking about
But
Bowers.
I'm not saying he's going to be the best.
Hold on. And now we're talking about Brock Bowers having a Laporta-type season. Laporta had Jared Goff. And
Which no
Brock
one thought
Bowers
was
had
that good.
Gardner Minshew. What do you mean?
No one thought Jared
Goff
Goff was that good going into the season.
Goff's always been pretty good, at least.
been a
He's
Super
like
Bowl.
his lowest was.
Because you called him tiny hands, tiny dick. Like you always you always went at him for that, right? Cold hands or whatever.
Tiny hand. In the cold, yeah.
Exactly. So man, you've talked enough shit about him to last a lifetime.
But he's a good QB.
But that's not the same though, because Jefferson, we're talking about him getting first place, winning the offensive player of the year. This is not Brock Bowers winning, being the best. I'm just saying he's going to be really, really fucking good.
Well, Laporta was the best tight end.
Yeah, Laporta season, like up there.
So are you saying like top 5 tight end, top 3?
Top 5, I'm saying.
Top 5. Okay, well, that's not very bold, is it?
What? That's incredibly bold, man.
Rather bold, yeah. No,
I'll
I'll
be
take
top
that. I'll take that.
Okay, that's 1 for 1 there. Next.
Texans will not have a better season than the last one. Okay? I think
Ooh.
I know CJ Stroud, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, they all balled out last season, but I think this might be a case where it's going to be very hard to replicate that level of a season. And D'Amico Ryan's first season as their head coach too. Like I feel like a lot went right for them last season, and it's not close to a guarantee that they'll be better than that last season. I think maybe they'll tie their record, but definitely not a better season.
It's very bold. I like this. Do you think they're going to win a playoff game? They won one last season. Are they going to win a playoff game?
I don't think they'll win a playoff
They're
game.
not going to win a playoff game.
They
Wow.
won't win a playoff game.
Wow.
Regression.
I like that. You know what? That's very bold, and I respect that because I've said it before. History says that either the Texans or the Packers, one of them is not making the playoffs. Yes. That's just the way the league works. It's not as linear as it could be. I just have trouble seeing how either of these teams didn't get better. Now, the Packers, to me, all clearly got better. Did the Texans really get better? To me, not really. I think they're kind of the same. I just think that their experience will make them better. So I don't hate it. And if between those two teams, if one of them's going to regress, I would probably say Houston, funny enough.
Yeah.
Just because, like you said, second-year head coach now. LaFleur is basically a vet at this point. That team was already the youngest team in the league last year in the Packers. So, okay.
Yeah.
Right, nice and bold. So what do you think about that?
I don't agree with it, but it is pretty bold. So that's cool. But I still think
I don't agree with it
Texans
either,
are
but
gonna be
I
good.
like the boldness.
Yeah, it's quite bold. Congratulations on your
Okay.
boldness.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything else, honestly.
Okay, I'm going to get to my other two bold predictions here since I only gave you guys my first. Rams making the NFC Championship, boys. I know you don't buy it, neither of you, but I have them winning that division. And I love this team this year. Don't burp at me, please. I have them winning that division this year, and I think they're going to be absolutely sick. You lose Aaron Donald, fine. That's a problem. Can't replace him. Obviously, you cannot because he's maybe the greatest defensive player ever. I love their draft. I love what they do defensively. And I love Sean McVay, and I love that roster. I'm not saying they're going to win it. I'm saying they're making it to the NFC Championship game.
I don't like it. I have to look at. I'm not like. There's no way that you think they're that high up there.
I do. I think they're.
I think they're a top 4 team in the NFC.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
I think
Easily.
the 49ers will easily beat them
Not
in
buying
a
it.
playoff game.
Not buying
You don't
it.
think so? Like,
Here's one thing I really don't like. Well, another thing I don't like for the Niners. One, Super Bowl hangover already. That's a thing. Another thing
not
is,
with a team like
what
that.
have we heard from the Rams this offseason other than great shit? It's been super quiet. They've just had a great draft. They had the first pick in the draft to grab a defensive player. They grabbed the best one on paper in Jared Verse. They've heard no noise from them. Now Puka's dealing with a minor injury. Stafford, okay. But the Niners has been nothing but noise. They've had to rework contracts. McCaffrey, Trent Williams sitting out. Brandon Ayuk, still know what's happening with him. That rookie they drafted at wide receiver, Ricky Pearsall, has dealt with not one, but like 2 or 3 injuries. So they don't know what's happening. I do not like what I'm hearing from the Niners at all. I still think they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be the same team that they were last year. I think I don't like all this nonsense that I'm hearing from them. McCaffrey now dealing with that calf. Like, we've seen what that can do. Dealing with one injury, it leads to another so fast. I'm so worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the exact status of it. Like, he could be totally fine to go. You know, like at this point, we don't have that good of an idea. So he could be like pretty much 100% right now. You know, like heading into the season. If that's a big worry about the 49ers, then I'm not worried about them beating the Rams. You know, I think McCaffrey's going to have a great season.
I think they'll split, and I think Rams will win the division.
I don't hate the Rams just because I like Stafford so much, but I don't think they're all that, honestly. I guess it is bold. I don't like them going. I wouldn't pick them to do it.
Okay, we hit the bold mark at least. Okay,
Yeah.
my third one. Brian Thomas for the Jacksonville Jaguars will be the second most productive rookie wide receiver in the league this year. People are going to hate this, but I'm loving it because Malik Neighbors has to deal with Daniel Jones. I love Malik Neighbors. I think he's going to be great. But Daniel Jones is horrific and injury prone. I don't even think he's going to start the whole season. I think eventually they're going to stick Drew Lock in there and see what happens. But Trevor Lawrence, his whole thing coming out of college, he's a deep ball thrower. whenever he gets his deep ball going, that's when that team clicks. The Jags were vying 10 weeks into last season, vying for the 1 seed, playing the Ravens for an in-a-night game. Whoever wins that game is sitting at the 1 seed. Obviously, Lawrence got hurt in that game. I don't think it would have mattered. I think in the end, the Ravens are just a better team. They would have won anyway. But Trevor Lawrence was having a great season until that injury. They lose Calvin Ridley. They still have Kirk there. I think Brian Thomas is going to snake Kirk for that 1 spot as the season goes on. Gabe Davis also there. It's going to really open up their offense. Etienne's still there. Ingram's still there. I think Brian Thomas is going to be the second most productive rookie after Marvin Harrison Jr.
Damn, that's bold. That's bold.
What about
I'm not even going to lie. I never even heard of that guy, to be honest.
Rome Odunze, I think, is going to be at best the 2, but probably the 3 in Chicago. So I think he'll need another year before he really takes a spot. I love DJ Moore there, still being the 1. So I think Brian Thomas is going to take it. Now there's rookie receivers everywhere, so this one's like really hard for me. But
yeah,
I'm a big Trevor guy. I think him and Brian Thomas, they're going to click. I like what I'm hearing.
I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know who he is either, Eli.
How low did he go in the draft?
Went low AF.
Yeah? Like what round?
Get exactly where. First or second round.
Okay.
Where did you find this man?
Well, I remember seeing it when they drafted him. I was like, hello. What you doing there?
Okay. Has he been killing it in the preseason?
First round out of LSU. Boom. Lock it in,
Not
boys.
that low. Not real low then.
Well, low is in like low in the draft, like early in the draft. No.
That's not how you could describe that at all. I thought you were talking like 5th round pick. You're like, oh, look at this.
People
guy.
do both. I prefer to say he went high in the draft as well, but yeah, I get your point.
And you say he's going to be the second best?
Second best after Marvin Harrison.
Second best?
Second most productive. Just this year, by the way. Just this year. That's what I'm saying.
I could definitely see that with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. But
You paint a nice picture.
I mean, they have a bit of a packed wide receiver room, though, if I remember correctly. So it might be hard for him to kind of.
I don't know. I feel like
get
they
a
have
lot
bunch
of targets, right?
A bunch of 2s. Gabe Davis is at best at 2. Kirk
he's
really
he's
a
a
1.
deep ball guy, though.
Yeah, he's a deep ball
Yeah.
guy.
Christian Kirk's the 1, I would say. Barely.
Probably barely
Barely.
a 1, yeah.
Like I can see him having like a Jackson Smith-Njigba type season, right? You have your 2 wide receivers up front taking the majority of the share of the targets, and then just the third guy is kind of just in no man's land a little bit. So you catch the odd ball, right? You don't get
Why I think that's
enough
different
opportunities.
is because the guys sitting in front of Jackson Smith-Jigba were so much better than the guys sitting in front of Brian Thomas. Because DK is a bona fide 1, absolute stud. Tyler Lockett is not just a deep ball guy. He can really do it all. He's extreme open area quickness. He's a massive matchup problem. So I think it's a lot harder for the rookie in that scenario to take one of their jobs. Whereas here, I think it's pretty open.
Yeah.
Like Xavier Worthy for the Chiefs, I think that is pretty open,
Yeah.
It's like there's not really the bona fide 1 there. Now, Lawrence does have a connection with Christian Kirk, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay.
Okay. I had one more bold prediction too before
Well, did
you
you?
moved on. Yeah, you only got to 2 of them. So my last one, Kyron Williams will lead the NFL in rushing.
Oh, my Lord.
Bold, right? Bold.
Very bold.
Bold. Okay. And man, he was popping off for so many 100-yard rushing games last season. Like he kind of came out of nowhere and took over. And I see him having a full off season of rest. He's going to be ready to go, and he's going to shock people. I can really see him just going nuts this season.
Okay, that's bold, but I hate it. I really hate it.
Really?
Yeah, because 1,
Hey, I know we got Bijan coming up here. I know Bijan's supposed to have a nut season.
Nick
I know
Chubb's
CMC
coming back.
always. Chubb is going to be destroyed for his whole life, I bet. But no, Kyron, from what we've seen so far, there's no reason not to think that he could lead the NFL in rushing. Honestly, he's so explosive.
Hold on. He was great for them last year, not taking anything away. But they also drafted Blake Corum at running back. That's such a weird one for them. So it's like Blake Corum is like a stud, flashy running back. He might come in and take some reps away from him. That's one reason I really don't like it. And my other reasons that I don't like it are because Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, and Saquon Barkley exist. So I just
Listen, it's not going to be easy. Yeah, but I think he's in that
Nothing
pack
to
though.
McCaffrey off.
He's in that conversation, and I think people are kind of sleeping on him a little bit. That's why I think he'll
Joel,
do
what
it.
do you think about that?
I really don't I would never ever think of that in a million years. Honestly,
You should put money on it.
him. Well, people like even Derrick Henry on the fucking Ravens. You know, it's
No,
like that
no,
comes to mind.
Not Henry, bro. Henry's too old to get that.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. Yeah, man, I'd rather take Derrick Henry for it too.
It's tough. It's a tough one, but you guys will be laughing. You'll be laughing once this hits, or crying actually.
You're right
I'll be
about that,
laughing.
Eli. We're gonna gas you up, bro.
Okay.
Fucking
All right. All right, let's go.
Cover me in hair.
I'm putting money on that. F it. I'm putting money on it.
Do
You
it,
better. You better.
Yeah, I will. Okay.